Welcome back to another episode of the College Football Overdrive podcast. My name is Fred Purdue. I'm one of your hosts. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Rick Brown, on a championship week reaction. We got a lot to talk about because this week was wild, real wild. And we got playoffs. Playoffs. Yeah, coach, we talking about playoffs too. What's going on, Rick?
What's happening, Freddie P? How you feeling, man?
Man, now I am good. I am now good because somebody got their heart broke, and I'm here for it today. I'm here for it today. I'm here. So
L- Let's pay some
go.
bills and let's go.
you know I'm here to do this right. So yeah, make sure you go follow the show on X, Twitter, at CFB Overdrive. Make sure you go follow the show. Also follow the show on YouTube, where we are currently now up and running. Make sure you also follow myself on Twitter at Fred Purdue CFB. Rick, where can they find you on socials so they can congratulate your alma mater?
Holla at me on X at Rick Brown 91, RickBrown 91. And when you
Oh,
address me as champion.
champion. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, okay,
Because
okay.
because I am swag.
Oh, you are swag. It might be a. Would you be called new swag, or do y'all get grandfathered in and called old swag? I'm just curious.
The records aren't new.
Oh, ooh.
I am
Okay,
swag, baby.
I, I like it. I like it. Congratulations to your Rattlers. Big win on yesterday against Prairie View A&M. Yeah. So Mr. SWAC
Yes,
champion. I will.
yes,
I
yes,
have to address you as that now. SWAC champion.
yes.
Um, we had some very interesting action the last time since the last time we spoke. We had some Power Five and some Group of Five champions named, and the action got cracking on Friday night. So number five Oregon faced off against number three Washington. This is a rematch from an earlier game in the year. This is a big rivalry game in itself. And quite honestly, I was this game was everything it was supposed to be. It was everything it was supposed to be. And quite honestly, it named not only our Heisman Trophy winner, but also our Pac 12 champion. This game was played at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost said that O word, and I know how they feel about that O word, but I didn't say it. Okay? I didn't say it. Washington came out, took a punch early, and punched back and punched back and punched back and continued to punch back behind one Michael Penix Jr., who, quite honestly, in my opinion, solidified his Heisman Trophy that I did say that he would win a few weeks back. Uh, 27 to 39, 315 yards, or I'm sorry, 319, a touchdown, also a pick. Um, Bo Nix didn't play terrible, but again, the gambler. Is Dan Lanning the new Riverboat Gambler? Just
Yes,
curious.
yes.
He's the new Riverboat Gambler.
He is. I mean, he plays to win the game, so I
So
don't mind that. I don't mind that.
okay, okay. 31 to 24 for 239, three touchdowns, one interception, and but yet down the stretch, Oregon, who was the bully on the block, just couldn't bully on the block.
Hmm.
Bucky Irving only 20 yards on nine carries. Bo Nix led the team in rushing yards, six
Hmm.
carries for 69 yards. But Dylan Johnson was one of the stars of the show. He had a that wheel wasn't all the way right. Let's just say that. 28 carries for 152 yards and two touchdowns was everything for Washington, but also the likes of Rome Odunze as well as Jalen Polk. Both had big games. But the Washington defense got to stop. They got stops. And that was the big key. I said this game, and I actually said this game would be what, 31, 34, if I remember correctly. But it went the other way. I picked Oregon, but it went the other way. Right score, wrong team. I felt Oregon would be the more physical team. They got out physical. They got punched in the mouth late. They wore down, and it showed. Washington was the better team, and as they've been all year long, they keep taking a punch, and they can throw the football, but now they're running the ball really well. Playoffs are in their future. Congratulations to the number 3. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but for right now, number 3, Washington Huskies, who are Pac-12 champions.
Come on, man. Everyone knows what's going on. Let's just take that cat out of the bag. But yes, congratulations to Washington for winning the Pac-12 in this last season, like it is. Uh, Mike Penix played a great game. Will it be enough to win the Heisman? I have no clue anymore. I just don't. So, I've been riding him all year. He hasn't disappointed. A lot of people want Bo Nix to win it. A lot of big money people, Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll see next week. But Bo Nix won't win. There's two things Bo Nix won't win, even if he does win the Heisman. He won't win the Pac-12, and he won't win the national championship.
Oof.
So,
Ouch.
congratulations to the Huskies on a good win. And I wanted to pick y'all. I told you I went. It was hard not to pick y'all. So, good win. Good win for the Huskies.
Also on Friday night, we had a game between the New Mexico State Aggies facing off against the Liberty Flame. I still don't understand how you get a flame out of a bird, but okay. But nonetheless, this is I have another nickname, but I'm gonna leave that. I'll leave that alone for today. But they had Liberty, who was number 24, undefeated at the time. They are CUSA champs after winning 49-35. This game was tight through 3 quarters, but Liberty came up, scored, had 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Jeremy Chadwell leaves Coastal Carolina, where he took them to as far as he could, takes over a Liberty team in year 1, albeit with another man's players, but still nonetheless CUSA champs, undefeated season, number 24. Uh, Presumably, he'll be a little bit higher. Um, Maybe next year, if this happens, maybe they get into that whole playoff thing. Maybe, just maybe.
Let's not push it, okay? I mean, congratulations to Liberty Mutual. Is it Liberty Mutual? Liberty, Liberty, Liberty,
I
Liberty.
see what you
Uh,
did there. Yes, sir.
okay, hey, good win. But let's 24 divided by 2 is 12. Let's not push it.
Well, they do have 2 spots that are allocated for the group of 5. So you never know. And I
James
think
Madison.
they had a loss this year. Undefeated James, a one loss James Matt. Let's play 1 year
Let's
from
not.
now.
Let's not.
Let's not
Let's
one
not.
one
Let's
loss
not.
James Madison over an undefeated. Okay, okay, okay.
Because that was played today by the big boys. I don't want to play that
Yeah,
game.
you don't want to play. You don't want to do that again. I got
I don't
you.
want to play that game.
Caden Salter, sophomore quarterback for Liberty, had an absolute whale of a game, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He 20 of 25. He did everything he needed. He wanted to do. Also on the ground, 12 carries for 165 yards and another touchdown. I mean, he did everything he could possibly do to play a perfect game. New Mexico State, they played musical chairs at quarterback after, but they did, but they also threw 4 touchdowns and a pick between the two. Liberty might be on the right path. Jeremy Chadwell is a good coach. It is what it is. No matter my thoughts about this institution that he coaches at, He's a damn good coach. Damn good coach.
Continue.
So, I'll say it this way: 1 year from now, we may have to revisit this conversation. Undefeated teams should, some undefeated teams should get in. I'll say that much. We had. Can we? So we'll go. We'll do this from beginning of the day to the end. So from yesterday, we had a Big 12 championship game. It was over before it actually ever began. I decided I was gonna, throw the game on my phone as I went grocery shopping. I'd listen, maybe check in a little bit. I got dragged out to the grocery store and stuff. I won't. I'm not telling anybody by who, but it is what it is. But by the time I got home to really really dig into this thing, it was 28-7, and we weren't even out of the first quarter, or 21-7 before we ever got out of the first quarter. This game was 35. By the time I got a chance to fully sit down, it was 35-7. Oklahoma State got a score, and quite honestly, Texas under Sark made one mistake going into the half. Up 35-14. Sark has three timeouts. All you have to do is kick the field goal. No, I'm going to try to draw them off sides. I'm going to try to draw them off sides. I'm going to get a penalty instead of I'm going to get a 5-yard penalty instead of calling the timeout. I still kick the field goal. It's long enough, but it swings left. And Oklahoma State gets the ball at half, after half. Yeah, that's the only mistake. 35. So instead of being up 38 14, you go into the half 35-14, big enough lead. Oklahoma State scored one more time in this game. This game was 49-21. It was over before it ever began. Quinn Ewers had 300 yards in the first half. They did everything they wanted. Xavier Worthy did get hurt down the stretch, but X-rays were negative, so he's going to be fine for postseason play. Sorry, coach, you're a man. You're 50 plus, but not today. What a masterful coaching job by Sark. They believed in the process, and Sark might be up for a contract extension very, very soon.
Texas walks away as champions. Cool.
Next up, and we'll stay in the group of five because this one kind of happened around that same time. Group of five, SMU and Tulane, who was ranked number 22, behind a freshman quarterback because Preston Stone didn't play in this game. Did everything they wanted. Kevin Jennings, 19 of 33 for 203, a touchdown, two picks. They struggled a little bit, but former Miami Hurricane running back Jalen Knighton had 73 yards and a touchdown. Also, Kamar Wheaton, former Alabama running back, also had added in 6 carries for 17 yards. These guys are for real, but here's where things got real dicey, right? This game was SMU was up 14-7 going into half. And then news breaks. Willie Fritz, head coach of Tulane, is moving on. And players who, of course, they go into the locker room, their phones are going off. They get a second to chill for a second and kind of take in anything they need to take in. See the news. Isn't that like the most deflating thing in the world? To know that your coach is leaving in the middle of a game? Mm. Came out flat. Came out flat. Only scored 7 points in the third quarter. SMU wins 26-14, and I think that the mentality of a team, the psyche of a team, is a huge, huge part of how things go for um, down the stretch.
Yeah, that's tough. Tough finding out that way. You would have preferred the head coach be able to tell this team instead of finding out that way. That's just That's tough. It's tough, but hey, welcome to the world. Welcome to the world of life, players.
I don't know who leaked it, but if I'm Willie Fritz, I'm a little upset that it gets leaked. Who knows if as a team, who knows as a team, as his agent putting it out. I don't know who put it out, but quite honestly, that's tough. It's real tough, real tough. So we had a Big Ten championship game that, quite honestly, let's be real, we knew what the result would be. And it looked very much like we thought it would look. Number 2, Michigan, facing off against number 16, Iowa, who finished 10-3 this year. We said they were allergic to scoring and that if they actually had a little bit of an offense, they might have a chance. Not today. Uh, Michigan dominated this game from start to finish, 26-0. J.J. McCarthy, 22 of 30 for 147 yards. Very, very yawner. Sorry, Michigan. It was a bit of a yawner. I'm just gonna be honest. Deacon Hill, quarterback for Iowa, finished 18 of 32 for 120 yards. Can we believe it? A Big Ten game where throwing the football isn't a thing, right? Uh, Blake Corum, your guy, 16 carries for 52 yards. They It's just death by 1,000 cuts. That is what it is. Um, Michigan again dominated third down. They were only 3 of 15. Nothing really impressive. Iowa also just allergic offensively. They might as well just punt it on first down if you guys were gonna come out and lay a donut, we could just punt on first down, right? 155 yards. Michigan's defense is elite, but when your offense doesn't put up a fight, it's pretty tough as well.
We knew this game was going to be like this. It was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even if Iowa's defense could have maintained, um, their offense couldn't. So, moving on.
By the way, Michigan was a 20.5 point favorite. They not only covered, but they super covered. They almost covered by a touchdown. Yeah, this one Iowa. Come on, give us a spread offense. Go give us some players. Some guys might want to come play for you. Come on, Kirk. Come on. By the way, is this Kirk Ferentz's last game? Maybe. Might he step down?
No,
Hmm. No, you don't think so? But do you think he's still bullish on this whole offensive thing? Playing two phases of football up in Des Moines. I
no.
don't know. It worked. I mean, it worked playing two phases, but you give yourself a puncher's chance if you throw the football a little. Who knows? But what we're here for, the games that we are really here for. At 4 o'clock, we had a game in the SEC in Atlanta. By the way, Nick Saban is undefeated in Atlanta since he got to Alabama. Yeah, this one was everything it was built to be. The master versus the student. The student got the best of them the last couple of years, but we know who we know. Uh, Georgia first, number 1 Georgia facing off against number 5 Alabama. Uh, Alabama 27-24. This game, Georgia came out on fire. First possession, 8 plays, 83 yards. It was dink, 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 dink. Big play action play down the field, touchdown. I mean, it looked like they had been waiting on this game. It feels like they had been game planning every week for this moment. Carson Beck was 21 to 29 for 243 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, but he played solid. Jalen Milrow, 13 to 23 for 192 and some big plays down the field. 2 touchdowns through the air. Also added in 29 yards on the ground on a big run. So I, my initial reaction was, man, Georgia comes out on fire. Bama comes out slow. This might be a rough one for Coach Saban. Bama kicks a field goal. They have a drive in the second half where they score a touchdown, and I just felt at that point the momentum shifted, and I said Bama's not going to. I was actually shout out to my guy Cam Underwood from State of the U. We were talking during the middle of that game, and I said when that touchdown happened, I said they're not. Bama's not going to trail anymore at this point. Going up 10-7, I said they're not trailing anymore, and they didn't. Bama put up 14 in the second half, outscored Georgia also, but Georgia stormed back. They fought back late, but it wasn't enough. Bama just ran the ball down their throat. Kendall Milton, I thought, started out hot for Georgia, 42 yards on the ground. But Roydell Williams had a big game, 64 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Milroe added in that 29 also. But Isaiah Bond had a controversial catch. I think it was a catch, but I still don't know what a catch is, so we can debate that all day long on a crucial fourth down. But a name that Georgia may wish that they had kept, Jermaine Burton had a touchdown, two catches for 24 yards. Also had a chance to troll his former team and coach late in the game, trolled the fans. Good for you. Bama wins 27-24. SEC champs. Their only losses to Texas. They set themselves up to at least have a shot to get in the playoff.
Uh, Being that I was out of pocket, I did not see this game at all. So I cannot talk about the ebbs and flows in the game. I can talk that Nick Saban is undefeated against Georgia in the SEC title game.
Mm-hmm.
I can say he can thoughts of his demise and of Georgia's demise has been highly overrated or overstated.
Mm.
And that, it wasn't like it was a bad loss by Georgia, but it has turned out to be a bad loss. So, congratulations, Alabama and Las Vegas. And I leave it at
I give you a pass for this one simply because you you were tending to some business,
that.
some real business.
I was in Tallahassee for the Rattlers' first SWAC
Yeah,
championship.
that was real business. That's real business.
Sorry, that
I give
was
you a pass for that. I give you a pass for that because if
it was raining up there.
oh,
Oh,
it was okay, okay, okay,
but yesterday
okay.
was raining. So that's where I
We'll take.
was. So forgive me, college football fans, that I'm not going to bring down Alabama and Georgia. Sorry.
Good stuff. So, last but not least, this one was the controversial game. We had Florida State and Louisville. Number 4, Florida State, hanging on to that last playoff spot, facing off against a Louisville team that lost last week to rival Kentucky and essentially knocked themselves out of any chance, outside possible chance. I didn't think they had one. They didn't have really much of an argument, but give it hope is hope is hope is a very good motivator. It's a very good motivator. But this ACC championship game had a lot of different storylines. Florida State backup quarterback Tate Rodemaker out with a concussion. In steps Brock Glenn, freshman, who's only thrown 4 passes. He went 8 of 21 for 55 yards. But Jack Plummer, the transfer from Purdue down to Louisville, he just their offense was smothered. This was a defensive clinic that Florida State put on. Florida State went up 3-0 going into half, and they didn't look back, quite honestly. Louisville couldn't match up on either line of scrimmage. And while Florida State they just said we're gonna run the football, we're gonna stick with the run. Lawrence Toafili also had 118 yards on the ground with the touchdown. Trey Benson had added in 18 carries for 67. Both of those guys just said, we're going to put the team on our back. Defense said, look, we got you. We got you. We're going to go ahead and win this game. And quite honestly, between Jared Verse and Peyton on the other side, they harassed Jack Plummer. And I think Jack Plummer is still running for his life at this point. Knowles wins 16-6. They are ACC champs. And presumably had a chance at a playoff bid.
Congratulations to Florida State on winning, finding a way to win the ACC title. First time since the year 2000 that both FAMU and FSU have won conference titles in the same year. So Tallahassee
Oof,
was
long
definitely
time. Long time.
Tallahassee was definitely lit Saturday night. Uh, you know, people talk about teams changing and either improving or not improving. One thing that's been consistent has been FSU's defense that has dominated for most of the season. Sans that Boston College game that just was crazy. Um, they played very well all season long. They played very well all season long, so good job FSU's defense. Good job FSU for winning all the games that were put up in front of you. Everything else is out of your control.
So so we fast forward to today, which is Selection Sunday, the real Selection Sunday. I know y'all basketball folks think you. Never mind. I'm gonna be nice. I'll be
That's
nice.
right. We started it. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. And I
and
am a basketball guy.
we finished it. We finished it.
No, y'all are just trying to creep on board. Y'all still
Mm,
got lessons to learn though.
maybe because we had a selection. We had a selection Sunday that involved six teams that could potentially get in: Michigan, Alabama, Washington, Texas, Oregon, and Georgia. Essentially, we had our 16 playoff. Essentially, we had elimination games, right? Michigan or I'm sorry, not Oregon, Ohio State. Sorry, Ohio State, who fell to what, fifth. So this is how it goes. Michigan last week eliminated Ohio State. Let's be honest about that. No, we're not putting in a non-champion, right? So Michigan eliminates Michigan eliminates Ohio State. Alabama eliminates Georgia. Washington eliminates Oregon. So and Florida State is a undefeated champion. So essentially, we have five teams vying for four spots. The Michigan stays undefeated. They're number one. We're not going to worry about them. We know what that is, right? Alabama eliminates Georgia, so you would presumably think they get in. Washington, undefeated in the Pac-12, a strong Pac-12, they get in. So we have two automatics there. Texas, the question would be, would Texas, Alabama, Georgia, or Florida State get in? Resume. We've had conversations across college football, social media, etc. And so Texas gets in as a Big 12 champion with one loss. They get in. So now we have to say who gets in. Florida State undefeated, Alabama with one loss, but they're SEC champions, wins against Ole Miss, LSU, and Georgia. And they have one of the better defenses in the country. They are not the team that they were when they lost to Texas early in the year. And then there's Georgia, who didn't win, so essentially they're praying they get in. The selection committee did exactly what I thought they would do, and that was put an SEC champion in with one loss over an undefeated team in Florida State. It's not about, and I want to make this disclaimer. While we say we want the best four teams, and that may be an undefeated team, it may not be an undefeated team. While we, the fans, we want to see the best football, we care about wins and losses. The people behind the scenes that are making these decisions, they are creating television shows. This is business. It's strictly business. And we know that we saw what Brock Glenn was. We know what Tate Rodemaker was. Florida State, you guys had an amazing season. You went undefeated. First time you've been undefeated since 2014 or 2013 when you won a national title with Jimbo and Jameis Winston had a Heisman Trophy. Congratulations. But you don't have what it will take to beat any of these three other teams, and it's not, and we don't want to see what happened last year with TCU and Georgia. These are TV shows, television production. That's strictly it. Alabama was must see TV against Georgia, and Jalen Milroe looked the part. He played the part. Alabama looked the part of what they used to look like. We got glimpses of it. They took down the team that won 29 straight. By the way, 34 straight is still the record, but you know, but nonetheless, Alabama gets in that fourth spot. So we have our playoff matchups are set. Michigan won. Michigan, Bama, Texas, Washington. What are your thoughts, sir? Go ahead and bash the committee. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, the committee got it right.
Oh,
The
hold
committee got
on.
it.
Okay, carry on. Go for it. Go for it. I want to hear this. I'm
The,
surprised.
the committee got it right as laid out in their criteria. It's basically the criteria is the eye test and what team looks best to me right now. So for that, they got it right. They got the top four teams that will give them the most juice
Hmm.
in television and all of that. The problem I have is this: you have a team from a Power Five conference that you've just said that means absolutely nothing compared to the SEC. When in history has shown us, hell, this past season, that the ACC, when matched head to head with the SEC, ACC usually comes out on top. Having said that, Florida State, without not just their number one quarterback, but their backup quarterback, they're down to the third quarterback, and people are afraid of what happened in the championship game last year, what happened in the semis this year. But if history serves me correctly, there have been many times where the semifinals games have sucked.
Notre Dame, Alabama, Alabama, Washington. I can name a few,
So, so
but
that
there weren't
reasoning,
blowouts. They weren't blowouts like I think Florida State would be blown out.
that reasoning sucks. Number number two, say you put Florida State at four, then it's a defensive matchup.
Mm.
You're not giving Florida State's defense a chance to do anything, which in the last 2 weeks, Florida State's defense has said, we're one of the best in this country. We can ball. And who knows, the backup quarterback was out because of concussion. You would expect in 4 weeks he would be healthy and back playing. And if you have a chance to game plan for 4 weeks, just like teams make upsets during the first game of the year, because they have all summer to prepare, you can prepare for the semis. I think this was biased.
Mm.
I am not a Florida
SEC
State.
bias?
Yes,
Ooh.
SEC bias. Yes,
Mm.
yes, yes, hands down. And no, I'm not a Florida State fan, but right is right. Florida State did everything that was asked of them, and then you're saying they can't go because they don't look pretty enough. That is messed up. I'm not cursing today, because I want my point to be heard, and I don't want you to think this is just a crazy rant from a fan or whatever. But we have learned what this system is about now. The committee has told you it's all about being the prettiest at the ball, and Florida State wasn't pretty enough to be invited. So, so yes, the committee got it right, but the committee is full of shit.
Ooh. Wow. When so I remember this. So this play, I want to take you back into yesteryear a little bit. Back in 2011, the 2011-2012 season, that would be Cam Newton was your national champion with Auburn, and he was also your Heisman Trophy winner, et cetera, et cetera. Right? I remember that when Oregon played them in the national championship game, it was probably the most, when I say dead atmosphere I can remember in a long time. We also learned that that national championship game, both teams lost significant amounts of money. And we know that sports is a business first. We care about the matchups, but the people behind the scenes making all of this happen, they care about money, right? It was verbally said on by who, I don't remember the commentators, but they kept making it a point. These teams are losing money. There's not much participation. The fans didn't show up. The college football playoff was created for us. Outwardly, they'll say it's to create the best four team matchup. For what I heard with a background in business marketing, things like that, I understand that what I heard was I need to put the best four teams that I can put a product on TV for, that will make fans travel, whether they're a fan of the school, fan of the sport. That's what I heard. And from that moment on, when we knew we were getting a playoff down the road, I just, I knew somebody was going to get screwed. Somebody was going, regardless if it was a G5, Power Five, or an independent like Notre Dame, somebody was going to get screwed. To the levels that it happened this year, I didn't expect it to happen this way. I didn't expect a team to go undefeated, lose their quarterback at the end, and this happened. But I knew it would, an undefeated Power Five would get screwed. Did Florida State get screwed? Somewhat. Was it the right decision if you say, I want to make the best product? Yes. If it was pure to the sport, the decision is Florida State got screwed. It just depends on what you want. Do you want the purest version of college football, or do you want the best product that you can possibly see?
And that's the key. And that's the key. That's why I laid off the way I did. By letter of the law, they got it right. Because you're right. It's about money. It's about the best matchups. It's about being the prettiest and getting the most sponsorships. But by letter of sports fans, everything that we are taught that sports are about, fair and equity and winning it on the field. I mean, hell, might as well have been a gymnastics. This might as well have been a gymnastics competition with the voters. So full of shit. Because I am a sports purist in a lot of ways. I understand why they made the decision. I don't agree with them. I don't agree with it at all. And yeah, but it is what it is. Bring on Michigan, Bama, and Washington and Texas.
So early prediction. Or we'll talk about this way later, but just reactive prediction.
Whoever Vegas wants to win will win.
Ooh, whoa, whoa. Okay. You know, and I get this a lot. I'm a Saban fanboy and all of this other stuff. I don't care. This group of teams, I think, just instant reaction without ever diving into anything to really make a true decision. I think your top seed is in trouble based on the matchup, and I think we're gonna have a shootout, and we're gonna have a progressive defensive battle. Harbaugh versus Saban, DeBoer versus Sark. Oh, that's gonna be fireworks. These are really good matchups, and I don't want to. When I'm forced to pick, I don't pick against Nick Saban. And the last time I did, well, Justin Fields was getting his ribs destroyed, and Mac Jones and company destroyed them in a national championship. So that was the last time I picked against him. I'm not doing that again. I don't think that Ohio State team is better than this Michigan team, but we'll see. We'll see. We have so going into now that we have our playoff matchups, Matt put out. We're waiting for bowl games to be announced. Where will your favorite team be in when it comes to bowl games? We also have this whole Heisman Trophy thing going on this week. I think we can talk. Just do you have? Can we assume our Heisman Trophy finalists are like Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, and Jaden Daniels? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they bring four.
Okay, so we can if we want to say four, those are our finalists. I don't want a prediction from you yet because that actually happens next Saturday. So we'll talk about that going forward. We don't have to completely break that thing down, but it will be next Saturday. So we'll talk about that later. But now that we have finalists, the ballots were distributed back on the 27th of November. And the voting is actually, the ballots are due on tomorrow, Monday the 4th, and the finalists will actually be announced on tomorrow as well. But we can give that's a solid assumption. I don't. There's no running back out there. Sorry, Jalen Milroe, you're not there either. I know you said you should be there. You just had a really decent season and you look really good, but those guys have been the most consistent for all year.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. And if you only take three, then Caleb is not going.
Caleb is not going. That's going to be a tough one. That's a tough one. To be very honest, that's going to be a tough one. Um, I'll say this. Oh, and actually, I can't just say four. Marvin Harrison Jr. is five. He would be my if I said five.
You're not bringing five though.
You're not bringing five, but those are the five that. Well, I'll say this. Those are the five potential of the three that could. Let's say if we have three, those are the five you have to choose from. You guys split hairs on that one. Let us know on X Twitter who you think should go. Maybe your favorite team has a guy, but those are the five, right? But so we have bowl games coming up. Our playoff matchups are set. We also have a winner of our college football pick'em, and Alabama. Can I make this reference? Can I do this? Can I
No,
do this?
because if you look at it, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
Look at the numbers. Okay, I'll look at the numbers because I don't want to shortchange you. And I was looking at it and I said, hmm. So there has yeah he sorry you lost sorry
By
you are
when?
actually you lost by one by a full game. Yeah, you came in second, sir. So I'd like to give a
How many wins?
congratulate
How many wins?
89 wins, but you had
Huh?
actually let's hold
Huh?
on
Huh? Yes. Thank you.
back up
Thank you very
back up.
much. See? See? Thank you.
Can we have a
See?
controversy
Mm.
here? Let's
I,
go
I
back.
I didn't make a controversy, but some ain't
Did
right
you
here.
did you hold on? Let's
Some ain't
see.
right.
Did you miss a game somehow?
Did not miss a game. Some ain't right.
Our Ryan
Hmm.
Peoples, our reigning and defending champion, is has been named the champion, but I think there's a ballot box issue right here.
Hmm.
He has
Hmm.
89 wins and 51 losses, and you, Mr. Rick Brown, have 89 wins and 50 losses, and I'm not too sure how are we doing this? Is this
Hmm.
percentage points? Something's going. I might have to go back in and look at this. Take a
Hmm.
look at this. But yeah, you guys are 1-2 there. You guys are tied. You guys are actually tied. I'm not sure how that works out, but you guys are tied. I wonder if there was a tiebreaker in there somewhere. But nonetheless,
Maybe the
yeah,
points.
there has to be a points issue here. I don't know. You
What
guys are
was what
tied,
was the
so
points last? What was the points last week? But all I gotta say is that somehow the system. That's all right. I
so
understand.
we're gonna
Just like
extend this. Can we
just like
extend this?
Florida State. Just like
Can we
Florida
ex-
State.
can we extend this?
No,
Can
no.
we
He can
no,
listen.
no, 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 no. I want to break
Do
this tie. Ties are
do
not
whatever
broken.
he wants. Do whatever that the system wants because the system, just like
We're
they
good.
screw Florida State, they
Oh,
they screwing me. But it's okay. It's okay. I don't mind. I shouldn't have. See, I shouldn't have given up the lead 2 weeks ago. But that's okay.
yeah. You left it in
All
the hands of a kick. You left it in the hands of the ref and the kicker. Good
all I
job.
know is the last 2 weeks that we've been tied, that we've both had 6-4 records. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I know. And how and if I got to and if I have one less loss than he does, the percentage
I want.
wise,
I think what I want to do here. I want to
mm,
make an executive decision here.
mm, mm.
We're gonna let this extend out to the playoff.
No, let's extend it to let's do a one game playoff. Let's do the celebration bowl in 2 weeks or the Army Navy game
Hell,
and let's
mm-hmm,
go. He can have Howard. I'll take my daggone Rattlers and let's ride. Let's ride.
But what if he likes your Rattlers? Then what?
All right. All right.
Ryan, we're gonna have to reach out to you and because he is the champion. Let's see. But if it was
Mm,
up to me, uh, would I be considered the selection committee? I guess would I
you know what?
the NCAA? I'm the NCAA here.
Okay, okay, boo. And just like all y'all of blah blah blah. But you know.
If I was the NCAA, I would extend
Mm.
this out to the playoff and say whoever gets this right, whoever wins your national championship, that whoever you guys pick to win the playoff games, that is your college football overdrive 2023-2024 pick'em champion.
But suppose we pick the same team.
Mm.
So you know
It would
what?
have. Will we have to go to a coin? We really
let's
have to
just,
go.
I'll drop it. I'll drop it.
You drop the
But
belt? You're gonna drop the belt?
I'll drop it because it doesn't matter to me. Because
Wow.
I am the people's champion, and they already know. Just like, just like other schools get gypped, brother always gets gypped. It's all good though. We
Okay,
okay.
okay, okay, okay.
We're
So I
fine.
will, Ryan, if you're listening, we will reach out to you and
Congratulations, Ryan. Good season.
we'll, on a congratulations, sir. On a another, you are now, and then now I have to do this to you. I'm sorry. As we
Go ahead.
said, you are very much like a Georgia Bulldog. You are a two-time defending, reigning and defending two-time national champion. You see what I did there because he's an Alabama fan. But yeah, and we know how much Alabama hates what Georgia does. So especially being little brother and all of this now. So Ryan, congratulations to you, sir. We will be reaching out to you again on the for your celebratory appearance, and I might have a little something. You never know. So so yeah, we'll be back with you guys to talk Heisman bowl games and just and I'm sorry, I missed this when we were talking Tulane. Willie Fritz, head coach of Tulane, during up until halftime at least of that uh, championship game, CSC or the AAC championship game. Yeah, he's now the head coach at Houston now. So there's that. Imagine, imagine. So until next week, folks, make sure you follow the show on Twitter, X Twitter. Make sure you go follow us on YouTube. Well, the link is in the description, in the bio. I'm sorry. Make sure you go follow us on both of those platforms. So you let us know how you feel about these playoff rankings. Was your team gypped? Where it was Florida State, who, according to their AD, the committee failed college football by leaving out an undefeated Knowles team. And of course, if you're a Georgia fan and you think you should have gotten in regardless, and you think like Kirby Smart that there is no question that Georgia belongs in the playoff despite losing, let us know. You can follow me on X Twitter at SpreadPurdueCFB. Rick, where can they find you on X Twitter to congratulate your Rattlers on a SWAT championship in history?
Find me on Twitter, on X Twitter at Rick Brown 91, RickBrown 91. Atlanta, 2 weeks for the Celebration Bowl against the MEAC winning Howard University Bison, the school from my home city. Should be a good one.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We will catch you guys on the other side when we talk a little bit more about the Heisman Trophy. By the time we talk to you guys, Heisman Trophy candidates will be out. The votes will be submitted, and we will be making predictions as well as talking bowl games and much more. Till then, stay safe and peace.
Peace, peace.